So hi everyone, and I just wanted to bring Gail on today. We're talking about the Facebook and Instagram Stories for Business program that she is part of at the moment, and we are still ongoing through it, but I'm launching it again in January 2021. So I thought I would bring some of the people who are participating in the course to answer some questions for me. So Gail, would you like to introduce yourself first, please?
Hello, I'm Gail Hugman of Lessons Live. I motivate primary age children. So, yeah, can I say more?
That's fine, you can explain a bit later. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anita Wong, and I'm a digital coach and Instagram and Facebook stories expert. So I created the course to give everybody a chance to reach their audience in a slightly different way. But the course doesn't just stop at stories, it actually covers everything to do with Instagram and Facebook. We'll go into that in a little bit. So Gail, can you give me an overview of your experience of the Instagram and Facebook Business Stories course so far?
What I've loved about the course is I knew nothing really about Facebook or Instagram or how they work or how to use them. And when we went into lockdown, I realised that I would, for a number of reasons, be better off transferring my business online. And didn't really know, I mean, I was posting maybe once a week or something. I didn't really understand how it all operated. But the thing about the course, it's not only taught me how to set it up properly and thoroughly and how to connect it, but the thinking behind everything, so that I feel that I'm in control of the bits I know. I know there's parts of it I haven't reached yet, which are still ongoing, but it's knowing which apps to use, it's knowing what I have to pay for, what I don't need to pay for, it's knowing how often to post and looking at the insights. And I feel almost, I mean, I recently said to an 18-year-old, watch out, because I'm going to be an internet sensation.
Brilliant.
It really has boosted my confidence with Facebook and Instagram. And one of my clients a couple of years ago said to me that you should be on Instagram. And I didn't really know what to do to be on Instagram. But now I feel I do. And I want to get better at it. So this is a great course for that.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So obviously you sort of mentioned it actually just then, that you needed to take your course online, because obviously we're all living in unprecedented times at the moment with COVID, and also even post-COVID, once we get it under control, I think a lot of people have been given a different insight into how their businesses can work and how you can actually reach other people inside of the digital area. So how do you think working with me through the course has helped you pivot your business more online?
I think it's really, it's been really helpful because I didn't understand. It's a different way of communicating with people. And Instagram and Facebook are slightly different from each other as well. And so I didn't understand hashtags. I didn't understand how to grow your audience. I didn't understand quite a number of features that are important if you want to make a difference and if you want to attract an audience. And I have started building an audience, not as great as yours yet, but
yeah, but I'm working on it. Been growing for a while. It's not an overnight thing, which is what I've been like, which is what I tell everyone, is that it's not something that happens overnight. You do have to grow and nurture your audience, which is what you're doing at the moment.
I think that's one of the important things, is the nurturing of it, and that actually it's possible to create, nurture and develop a business online without spending an awful lot of money. I mean, if you invest in the right course, which I believe this is for me, then you don't need to have paid ads, or because you are in control of it yourself. So I think working with you has opened my eyes to a whole different way of operating and made it much easier for me to go from offline to online. And that is continuing. I mean, it's only been since March. It's only been through lockdown, hasn't it? Can't remember when we started.
Yeah, so because you went on to one of my other courses in March, and then you signed up for this one, which we started in at the end of September, beginning of October. So that brings me actually on to the next question, is that obviously you knew me before by going into the 7 days course. But what sort of made you decide, what sort of skills could you see that I'm offering that made you decide that actually you wanted to work with me further, and you wanted to really sort of like work on your Instagram and Facebook?
Well, you just eat, sleep and breathe Instagram and Facebook stories. And it's so evident that you're very knowledgeable. You keep up to date with all the updates, and you inform everybody. As soon as they come online, you let everybody know. It's up to them whether or not they take it up. But I think it was the fact that you are really competent in that area. And not only are you competent, but you fill other people who aren't competent with the confidence to be able to do it. And I would like a copy of your diet for the week, because the amount of energy you pour into it is staggering. And the fact that you're always there to answer questions, that it doesn't matter. You seem to be always there, even though I know you go BMX riding as well. It's like, how does this woman do this? But I think it is the fact that you simplify it. Somebody wanted to do a live interview with me, and I said I didn't know how to do that, and they said, I'll send you a video. So they sent me a YouTube video of someone explaining how to live stream. And I ended up holding my head thinking, I can't. I had to back out. I had to say to them, I'm sorry, I can't cope with this at the moment. And I knew I didn't have the time or headspace. But when I know if I listen to one of your videos, there'll be a little bit of information that you go through. You show me on the screen what I'm looking for. I know, and so I'm confident going through those steps. But I also know that if I do get stuck, I can just put a question in the box and you'll be there to answer it within 24 hours. So that is really an advantage. The first time I ever met you online, I mean, I've never met you, but the first time I met you online, I remember saying to you, I just came here to see if you're real. That there was this live Q&A every week, and I thought, is this really happening? I'd never had a course where you had access to the people running it in that way, and to be able to question. That's why I think it works so well, that people have got personal access to you, and then if they want to go further and meet with you separately, they can do that too.
Yeah, so, that's right. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's wonderful. That's great. So so you did come into the course with some barriers to overcome, some sort of fears or lack of confidence. Do you feel that you've worked towards overcoming those fears, and would you be able to share with us what one of them might have been?
Going live. That I had done a couple of workshops with a presenter on live presentations, and the first time, before I met you, the first time I went live and I saw the little eye of people watching, I just unplugged it. Oh. I just completely, I thought, oh my goodness, somebody's watching me. And I think that's a big fear for a lot of people about going live. And it's not polished. I'm not 20 with perfect teeth and wonderful thick, hair and all. And that bothered me to start with, because everybody's so sort of in your face and pizzazz and fast, and I'm not at that stage of my life now. But what I've had back from people is that they enjoy the content, that they find it very useful. And somebody said to me, I really like that it's not polished. I really like that you're you. And so as I've gone on and had that kind of confirmation, it's really helped my confidence. And now I'm trying to make time so I can go live. So I've certainly overcome that one.
Yeah.
And I don't actually use a script, because if I did, I think about it a lot. It's a bit like teaching. I know what I want to achieve, and I don't necessarily have a script to get me there. But I know what I'm working towards, and I'm the same. I have to do it live. I have to teach live as well. So that's the best way for me to work. And I've got this wonderful thing to play with now. You from.
Oh yeah. The so you've got the. I'll show you, because you lost it on with your background. The tripod. So this is the tripod standing up, and this is the, as you like, for a selfie stick. And that's really good, and that's good, because that means that you can take your lives outside as well, and have that stability, and that's sort of thing that that you've learned, and that's great. And that actually leads me on, because I know you did like, obviously the course grows in, you've grown in confidence with the course, and you've learned a lot. Have you got any sort of leads, sales, or growth from it? Is there anything you'd like to share? I know you have, because you told me, but I thought I'd let you tell everyone else what you've achieved.
I did, the very first time I did, and this was, you did a challenge, a 30-day challenge on Instagram story.
Yeah. So
that wasn't paid for. Did that come out of that day?
Yeah, I did a challenge in June when I first started telling people that I wanted to run the Instagram and Facebook stories program. And that challenge was a 5-day introduction to stories for everybody, and I believe that's the challenge that you are referring to. And then you did my 1-day workshop, didn't you, which had a 30-day accountability thing in, which is what this course actually has, which we're starting next week. So tell us about the results you had from that challenge, say, as an example, and from what you've learned in the course.
The first challenge, I think the very first story I put up, I had been dabbling a little bit, but the structure that you gave us, is each post a story, or are the 4 of them a story? Every day we put 4 things, so you've got the problem, the solution, or the pain point and the solution, and then contact me. Is that's what I call a story, the 4 of them?
Yeah, that's right.
And the very first one of those I did, I got a client. I thought, oh, this is easy. And then gradually I've had more people comment, not quite as, it's not busy yet. But then I did a live. I was doing Facebook Lives at the same time. And I did a live about a month ago, and I must have had 50 calls. Wow. 50 calls after it. And I got booked up with people wanting me to work with their children until the end of December. I'm full. And there are still people coming from that video. So gathering the confidence and being able to post more, not accurately, but with more consciousness, if you like, not just random, here's my sandwich, followed by a picture of the cat. It's a deliberate strategy.
Yeah,
and I know this week in Instagram stories, there's planning this week, which is going to be great, because it's something I've been wanting to get to.
Yeah.
To plan the next 6 months, if possible, of a strategic approach to it, because I like that. With my teaching, I do that. I have a strategic, you know where you want to end up, and so you build the platforms you need along the way. And that's another thing that I think that you can find people who can show you how to connect your Instagram and your Facebook, or what, all the little bits. But what you offer in this course, I think, is the kind of overview that's needed for somebody to get the bigger picture and to be able to project and say, that's what I want to achieve. And so I'll do it this way. And I noticed there's another pack of content, which I'm itching to print off and have a look at.
Yeah, there is another pack of content. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I wanted to include in the stories course, because it's okay knowing, like you say, it's okay to be shown how to do it, but then you have to actually work out what it is that you want to post about, and setting those social media goals in line with your overall business goals is really important. And then there's always another block. It's like, okay, so I know what I want to achieve, I know how to do it, but what do I say? So what I did is I worked together with Annalise, and she's written some energetic content for me under the same strategy as what I've been teaching everybody. So it shows you how to create the content for your post, and then how to convert that into your stories, so that you're saying the same message, which then people hear, depending on where they're seeing that message, like on Instagram, Facebook, stories. And obviously you're learning how to use all of the tools, which then transfer over, because LinkedIn has obviously just released stories. So the stories that we're creating in Instagram and Facebook, you could use over on LinkedIn. And Twitter's just released their equivalent to stories as well, which they've called fleets, which that's another thing, you know. And I think sometimes it's like the overwhelm of all this change can get too difficult for some, and they then just say, no, I don't want to do it. And I think hopefully, like you're saying, that it takes that overwhelm away, and you're able to just actually go, no, it's not as bad as it looks. I can do this because I know how to do all of these things, which is great. So that leads me on to the last and final question. So thank you, Gail, for doing this for me. So I've seen your confidence grow. I mean, you glow, and your stories are absolutely amazing. And like you say, you've got so much more confidence with your lives. And I think you said you were transferring that confidence of your lives over to Instagram Live soon. So that's another thing that you've sort of set yourself to do. What would you say to somebody if they were thinking about doing this course and they were sort of sitting on the fence, or they weren't sure whether it was for them? What would you say?
It's a no-brainer. Jump both feet. No, I think it is a huge territory, all of this. But I haven't kept up with the course, as you know, because I've been inundated with new clients, which is fabulous. But in the back of my head, I know it's going to all calm down once I'm organised. And I know I've got a year to access all the material. And I know that you'll be there, so that if I have a question or I get stuck with it, I can still come to you, because that's the other thing. And I've seen some other members of the course, like Claudia. I mean, she's going, I'm looking at her and thinking, she's steaming ahead. I want to catch up. I mean, she's doing so well with her editing and video. And it's lovely to see that other people are accessing it so well, So I think anyone who's worried about it, just forget it and get on with it, because you give so much value in what you do. And I think the fact that you're there, your students, if you like, and helping them is really the key to it all, because you're going to have your hand held all the way through the course and beyond if you want. It's just, there's no pressure to do it apart from the pressure you have on yourself. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend doing it. I wouldn't be coming to say this and help you say this if I didn't believe in it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you, Gail. So don't forget to go and find out, follow Gail. Can you tell everyone where they can follow you, Gail? So if they're interested in any of your services, or they know anyone that might benefit from your services, do you want to just give them a quick, where can they find you? Obviously, you can see your email behind you, but...
Yeah. On Instagram, it's lessonsalive_Gail_Hugman. And on Facebook, it's @lessonsalive.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So if you want to, if you have any questions about starting the course, or you want to reach out to me and have a one-to-one, then I'm open to have a conversation with you. And I have put the link above or below this video so that you can go ahead and sign up for the course. It starts in January 2021. And just to say thank you again, Gail, and I will see you again soon. Bye, everyone.